Okay, today's January 28th. We're at the fire station for the Public Safety Commission meeting. Okay, I will call the meeting to order. If this meeting is being recorded by anybody other than the Public Safety Commission, either locally or online, please state that you're recording the meeting now. Is anybody recording the meeting here? Is anybody recording the meeting online?
I'd like to record, please.
Okay, Anthony. Just make a note of it. Anyone else? Okay. All right, I'll take a roll call from the commissioners. Commissioner Barger.
Present.
Commissioner Jarvis.
Here.
Moss Caratolo is here. Commissioner Braff. Commissioner Burge.
Yeah.
Commissioner Dixon.
Here.
And Commissioner Lanoy is not present. All right, so we have a quorum. Excellent. All right, I'm gonna move right into public comment. I'll start with folks that are in the room. I'm gonna try to bring my timer up. Bear with me. Is there anybody in the room that would like to come up and give us public comments?
Can we change the order of that, please, to align with the agenda, if possible, because I have to take some people to a meeting in about 25 minutes,
Okay, so you want to change public comment to after statements?
if that's possible.
Okay, can I get a motion for that from second? All in favor? Okay.
Thank
You want to, do you want to do that before the reorg too? Okay, so we'll move right on to, we'll save public comment
you.
after your comments.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna move on to our annual reorganization of the Public Safety Commission. We are reorganizing for chair, vice chair, and secretary. Does any of the Public Safety Commissioners need me to explain what the roles and responsibilities are of these three positions? You do? Okay, great. So the chair position is to facilitate and organize the Public Safety Commission meetings, communicate with the mayor and the city, communicate with the police and fire chief and AMR, relay all that information back to public safety commissioners. The chair is responsible to organize the agenda for all the meetings. The chair is responsible to make sure that the commissioners, if they have questions that they want to ask departments, that they're organized and that those questions are on the agenda. And basically run the meeting, facilitate, and make sure the other public safety commissioners have what they need to have a successful meeting. The vice chair would do the same thing if the chair was not officially present or couldn't be present. The vice chair would have the same authority and same responsibilities. And the secretary would be working with the fire department and the city to make sure the meeting minutes were up to date, distributed to the public safety commissioners so they could vote on them. And once they're voted, the secretary will make sure that those meetings are sent in to the city hall for the record. Any questions on the three positions? Okay. We will start with chair. Is there anybody that wants to nominate for themselves or somebody else for the position of chair?
So.
Okay, Ed Jarvis is nominating himself. Any other nominations for chair?
I nominate David Mistratello.
Okay. All right. Would either of the folks nominated like to speak?
Yeah, I'll speak a little bit. Just a little bit of background. I have 30 years in public safety. I understand how the cities are run. I understand how the departments are run. I understand the city finance and budget procedures. I was deputy fire chief for 4 years, fire prevention captain for 8 years, shift captain for 4 years, and the rest of my time was on the floor. I spent two and a half years on city council and 3 years here. So that's my background in the community.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, I'll just briefly say that folks know me, I've been the chair for a while. I think it's important for everybody to rotate positions. I'd be willing to do the chair, folks, again, if folks vote me in. And I think the elected positions are very important for the success of the Public Safety Commission. That's it. All right, so we will I think we should do a individual vote, unless any other commissioners have questions for the.
I have a question. Do we
Yes.
have to second the nomination or no?
Yes, we should second the 2 nominations, sorry. Can someone second the 2 nominations?
I made the one for you, so someone else has to.
If somebody wants to make a second, you
I'll
can.
second.
Okay. And we did second. Did we do a second for Ed? I'm sorry.
I did it for you, so.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
Do a second for Ed. Somebody, please.
I'll do a second.
Okay, great. To be fair about it. All right, so,
And I do have one question.
yes,
Is this for a term of 1 year? Is that?
it's 1-year term. We rotate every year on all 3 positions.
Okay.
Okay?
And you've been doing it for the last couple years?
It's been a while, yes. Yep, exactly. All right. So, let's go right into it. I think we'll vote for Ed first. So we'll go right down the line, and I'll take a tally of the votes. Commissioner Barger? Yes or no for Ed as the
Yes.
chair? Yes. Okay. Jarvis?
Yes.
Okay. Moscaratolo, I'm going to sustain on voting for myself and anybody else. Graff?
Yes.
Okay. Dixon?
Yes.
Burge?
we're voting for,
Ed right now. Okay, that's enough. All right. All right, I don't think that we have to vote for me. So congratulations. You are the new chair of the Public Safety Commission.
Thank you.
All right, well, let's move on to vice chair. Are there any nominations or anybody want to nominate themselves for the position of, or nominate others for vice chair?
Nominate David.
Yeah.
Vice Chief.
Which David? Is 2 David.
David Muscat.
Mascaratello.
I second that.
Yep.
Anybody else? Okay. All right, we'll go right into, I'm not going to introduce myself again. We'll go right into the vote. Commissioner Berger?
Yes.
Berger, sorry. Jarvis?
Yes.
Moscaratolo, I sustained voting for myself. Graff?
Yes.
Burge?
Yes,
Dixon?
Yes.
And David Lanoy is not here. All right, we have a vice chair. Anybody would like to recommend somebody for secretary?
Nominate Maria. Burley.
I will second that. Maria, would you like to say anything?
no, I think I can handle that.
Okay. All right. Let's take a vote. Commissioner Barger,
Yes.
Jarvis,
Yes.
Moscaratolo, yes. Graff,
Yes.
Burge,
Abstain.
Dixon,
Yes.
and David Maloney is not here. All right, we've completed our annual reorganization. Chair, would you like to continue with running the meeting, or would you like me to finish this one off?
I'll follow along. I'll take it over if you want. and then you can just-
I'm asking you if you want me to continue it, or if you want to take it
I'll
over.
take it over,
Okay,
but I might have trouble following you,
that's okay.
but.
So there was a change, there was a little bit of a change, and I'll help you with that. So we're through that. So now we're gonna move on to, we're gonna move on to the mayor's, response to, mayor's response to flock cameras.
Yeah.
So can you state your name and not for us, because we all know who you are, for the folks in Zoom land, please.
I'm Erin Anhall. I am the Chief of Staff for the City of Greenfield, and I'm here on behalf of Mayor Sorger, who is unable to make it tonight. As I think we all know, there's been a lot of discussion about flock cameras in the past few weeks. Oh, and congratulations to you, new chair, but sorry to back up. So we all know that there's been a lot of conversation about the flock cameras in the past few months, and the mayor is very thankful for all the comment and feedback that she received and has made the decision to remove these cameras and terminate our use of flock system based on public feedback as well as the current national climate. I have complete confidence in our police department, and they've never given any of us any reason to believe that these cameras would have been misused intentionally under any circumstances. I have full faith that they will be able to maintain the same safety standards that we've come to depend on them for. And at the same time, it's in the city's interest to protect the community by eliminating the potential for misuse, especially from outside actors, super especially in this current environment. Mayor is so thankful for the people in the community who showed up to talk about these cameras and the concerns surrounding them. Those voices had a significant impact on the mayor's understanding and perspective of these cameras and flock, which ultimately led to her decision to end the city's use of the system. The city's budgetary decisions are values-based decisions. All of them are. And in light of that, the mayor has directed Chief Dodge to have these cameras removed as soon as possible. If they are not able to be removed before the end of the contract, which I believe they will be based on current updates, they will be disabled by city employees as soon as possible. We are thankful for the chief's collaboration in implementing this change and for all the work that he and our Public Safety Commission and our police department do to make sure that our community remains safe and growing. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Take care. All right, so now we're going to move into public comments before we have an open discussion with Public Safety Commission commissioners about flock cameras. So is there anybody in the room that would like to come up and make public comments? Is there anybody online that would like to make public comments tonight? If you do, just state your name, where you live, your residence, and you'll get your 3 minutes. I can't see very well. so-
One hand up, there's
Okay.
2 hands up there. Mike.
Okay, so Mike Lovett, would you like to state your where you live, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak?
Sure. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you fine, yes. I'm gonna start the timer, okay?
Okay. I'm Mike Lovett on Maple Street, and I want to thank the mayor for being so receptive to this. I do hope that as soon as possible is that, because it does feel like there is not a minute to waste here. They're already in Portland, Maine. ICE is already in Portland, Maine, and they're talking about adding license plate numbers to databases around domestic terrorism. Like these are real conversations. They are seemingly bragging about it on the streets, and it's especially concerning when that's the information they're talking about, and that's the exact information Flock purports to capture and provide value with. So, I again am really receptive to that. I'm receptive to Chief Dodge and everyone else who is acting on this quickly, and I really do hope that as soon as possible means that, because Greenfield can be an example here, because as much as it's great that they won't be in Greenfield, there's a chance that they're still in neighboring towns and they can pose a threat in some way to Greenfield residents. So I thank everyone else who's spoken up about it, but it does feel like there's still more work to do. But thank you for being so receptive and working to get this resolved, because it's really important. Thanks.
All right, thank you for your time, Mike. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Public comment?
There was one more person that had their.
Right on that, right there, but I can't see EJ. What is it? EJ.
Hi,
I-
yeah, and I think
Can you
there's
say-
one
I-
other person.
Can you
after
state
me.
your name? Can you state your name and where you
Yes,
live,
of course.
please?
My name's EJ Baker. I'm a resident of Precinct 6 on Franklin Street. I was just going to say, I think there's one other person online who'd like to comment after me. I'm also commenting to, voice my support for the mayor's decision here, for all the same reasons that she listed in her statement. And I also would like to echo Mike's sentiment that I hope we are able to kind of get these cameras removed as soon as possible. And I'd also like to encourage the commission to sort of review other contracts under your purview for similar concerns, to ensure that citizens in Greenfield are truly safe and not simply surveilled. Thank you.
Welcome. And there's one other person, I think.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I want to also
Can,
thank.
can you state your name and where you live,
Yes.
please?
Yes, Natasha, Precinct 3, Birch Street in Greenfield.
Natasha, I need your last name. You need to state your
Pico.
full name. Okay,
Pico.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to agree with everyone, with EJ, with Mike. I'm really glad that the cameras will be taken down as soon as possible and disabled before that's, if it's not possible to do it, at least disabled. And I do think, as Mike said, that we have the opportunity to be an example to other towns around us. And, I would have appreciated, I think, a little bit more forethought and research into the possible ramifications of what this contract might have brought and all of the, negative public opinion that resulted from it. So perhaps in the future, that can be something that happens, just like EJ said, so that we're actually safe and not just being monitored. So that's it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Can I ask what?
No, you can't. There's no comment back and forth with folks. Giving public comment.
I do want to make a public comment, so.
You could, let me just finish with the online folks first. Is there anybody else online that would like to make public comment? I don't see any hands up. If you want to speak up now, please speak up. Okay, if you'd like to come up and state your name and your address, you're welcome to come up.
Hi, hello, good evening.
Hi. Could you please state your name and your address?
My name is Dorothea Melnikov. I live in, I think I'm in Precinct 4, and I'm on Norwood Street. Right
Okay,
here.
thank you so much.
I wanted to listen because I just really was learning about what was going on fairly recently. And it is sort of how I had learned. So I'm really glad to hear the mayor, her thoughts, and that she moved in this direction. And I agree with everything that people have been saying. I don't know where the cameras are located. I'm interested in that. But I would like to see them disconnected or disabled in some way so they're not functioning. And I also agree that there should be a better process that's more transparent so that we know about these things. And I guess it's a little ironic that it's in a public safety meeting, because I also agree that this doesn't make us safe. And it does make us more surveilled and more distrusting and more separate. And it's just going down a rabbit hole, and we see where it will lead. And I think it's time to stop it now. So thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yep. And congratulations. And thank you.
Thank you for your time. Is there anybody else online that would like to give public comment before I close it? Going once, going twice. Okay, I'm closing public comments. Moving on. I'd like to move on to the portion where the Public Safety Commission has a chance to comment about the removal of the flock cameras, give commissioners some time if they want to discuss that. We're not voting on anything with respect to that, but I wanted to give folks time to make any comments or have any questions they'd like to ask the police chief. So, do any public safety commissioners want to make any comments on flock cameras? You would? Absolutely.
Yes. I'd like to know,
Can't see them?
Come on up, chief.
Ready?
The seat's hot.
They're gone. They're going away.
first off, I'm commenting that I wasn't consulted. I had no idea that this was happening. And that we had no input, as far as I know, as a commission, as to whether these things would be taken offline or left. I have no idea how useful they are to the police department. I have no idea how intrusive or invasive they are, because I have no idea who has used them and for what, because it looks like it's a complete closed system only for the police and for the law enforcement. So I don't see any reason why somebody should fear these cameras, but barring that, I just was not consulted as a commissioner, and I feel left out of the conversation. So just because the budget says that they should go, I feel that we should be consulted, at least so that we have input. Is there anything you'd like to tell me that I should need to know about the cameras besides the fact that they're going?
Well, I talked to now Vice Chair Mascaratolo yesterday. And he voiced his frustration with the fact that he wasn't in that conversation. And I can't disagree, right? Plain and simple. Back when this town became a city, they had a charter committee, and that charter committee developed a charter that put in it a public safety commission. So that particular committee felt it important enough to create a public safety commission for all things public safety. This certainly falls in that. So I'm not going to sit here and point fingers as to who dropped the ball, but I think it certainly is a public safety matter that should have been discussed with public safety. The other side of that coin is we've been to, the deputy chief and I go to every single city council meeting, every one. We never miss them. And what I can say is that individuals spoke at these public meetings in opposition of Flock. There was 3 last time, 2 maybe the time before that, and none in support. So that's what you get. I'm not going to get political about this. I like I said, in any of my conversations with city councilors, the mayor, to you, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to let this department live and die from Flock cameras. It's not worth it, right? So if the majority of those who want to talk about it, 3, say they don't want it, that's what the city's getting. I don't have a choice in that, okay? So the comments that were made about Flock, up to and including to the mayor, that's it. She's my boss, she's your boss, she's our boss. She doesn't want Flock, you're gone.
Well, I was hoping that at least she would ask for our input and ask for us to review any information that she was getting, including asking for public comment.
Sure.
In general, because at the council meeting, I can't make the council meetings. And I don't know if anybody else is working who can go at night because they have to work the next day for these council meetings. So I don't know about regular working people, but I know that people who are making comments are making them without my knowledge. So I'd like to have the mayor at least consider the fact that we did not get input, we did not give input, and we didn't get any facts.
I think just responding to that, I don't think anything here was done maliciously.
No.
I think it was an oversight on everybody's part to not include the Public Safety Commission.
Okay.
But I think if the Public Safety Commission sits on their hands with this one, it will continue in that trend. So I had advised the chair, it seemed reasonable for me, to me, that he speak up, or this committee speak up, if you want to validate yourself as that entity. Because like I said, the forefathers and mothers who drafted our charter said you were important. said, we need a public safety commission to oversee all things public safety. A flock camera, which is a security automatic license plate reader system that is run by your police department, is clearly falls in the realm of public safety. So yes, you should have been in on the conversation. Does that mean it would have had a different outcome? I don't know, probably not. But the reality is we don't have the money for it right now. You know, we have to definitely pitch every penny right now. So that was never out of our budget. It was out of other means. One, like you said, if you read the articles, the first 2 cameras were purchased from a grant. I had written it. It's called the Burn Grant. I wrote that 4 years ago, was approved, got those cameras 3 years ago. Beyond that, we have the law enforcement trust money. We bought 2 more with it. Okay, and the reason why we got those was because we had, we are part of the local Northwest District Attorney Task Force, Anti-Crime Task Force. And we had a member at the time, Detective Batinsky, on that task force, and he rubbed shoulders with law enforcement officials far and wide as part of that task force. The concept of flock came to us essentially through him. And he set up an informational where representatives came, and it was an amazing software. It's software like I've never seen before. So we signed up for it. We wanted to give it a shot. It solved many crimes, but not only crimes, it has found missing persons. It has prevented suicides. We have located people via plate numbers from suicide attempts or fleeing. That was the Lowe's incident that apparently made big news. We did link up with the Lowe's, and I believe it was Worcester, and they found the person and prevented him from taking his life. So good things have happened because of Flock. What I cannot answer is I'm not an IT guy. Right? I don't know IT that well. Can they be infiltrated? Probably. I don't know. And there's where the fears come. So there are people out there much better than me at computers and hacking, and we know very major, things have happened with that computer systems across the world. I don't know how they do it, but Flock is a Wi-Fi, sort of a self-contained Wi-Fi camera that's charged by solar panels. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not that smart at computers, but if it's a computer, I imagine it can be hacked, and that's what people are for.
One more question. Is this the same type of system that's on the bumpers of some of the municipal officers' cars in some of the big cities and things of that sort?
So ALPR has been around for over a decade or more. It used to be, yes, what you were seeing there, it used to be this real clunky, the cruiser would be driving down the road and there's stuff all over it.
Right.
And that's what they were designed to run through parking lots and as you're driving down the road as an attempt to find stolen motor vehicles. So yes, that's exactly what it is, automatic license plate reader system. The Flock, however, is owned by a third-party company. They own, it's a private company who owns Flock. For all intents and purposes and everything they're telling us, the data is ours, it is Greenfield's, it's not turned over to anybody unless we approve that turned over to anybody, and it overwrites itself after 30 days. The data doesn't exist anymore. Again, I can't corroborate that because I don't know enough about IT. I don't know. So if the Greenfield Police Department, at least my stance on it is, we have tried, since I took over, we have tried to reestablish relationships with the community. We take every step we possibly can to do that. I'm not going to live and die by Flock. Plain and simple. Our residents have to trust us. I don't know of anything we haven't yet tried to make that happen. We're in the community every day. We have initiatives up to and including this weekend. We're going down to West Springfield and loading the biggest vehicle we have full of backpacks and, they're going to be winter jackets and gloves and socks and mittens and everything you need to survive the winter. Once again, your police department's going down there and we don't keep that stuff. It goes to people.
One more question. Are we a sanctuary city?
I don't know.
Okay, you haven't been told by the mayor or anybody that we are, or no?
I'd like to think you're safe in this city.
Oh, no.
All right. Is there, the other commissioners have questions to the chief?
I would like
Comments?
to express my frustration also. I got all that information today and I had 8 hours to digest. And I saw everything that the police have used this camera. I personally, being a woman of color and everybody's worried about whether I'm going to be picked up by ICE, I'm not. I feel safe in this place. I've been here for over almost 50 years. And I see how many man hours you're gonna have to use to do the same thing that these cameras were doing. So yes, I am very frustrated about not being included or not being informed.
Other comments?
One thing that I think you've said a couple times is that you don't know if the information has been shared or can be shared. And that based on what they're telling you, that is unclear. I guess I read through the terms of service for Flock today, and there is very clearly a section in there that says that they can share Greenfield's data with federal agencies for law enforcement purposes. And so I'm just wondering if you've read the terms of service, and if you've seen that?
Yep.
Okay, so it's just.
I know
unclear what-
that part, but see, you set it up and actually Anthony from the recorder came and saw it. So there's basically toggles on our system. And it asks you your preference, your sharing preferences, right? And the only way we will share is upon request. It doesn't auto share. We have it selected so it doesn't auto share. It specifically says federal agencies. And ours is request only. They can't get it unless they make a formal request. So they're not, again, I don't know hackers. I don't know what capabilities they have. What I can say is that this is what Flock says it's doing. Okay, and they're saying based on your settings, because we made sure we went into our settings are we will only share with a federal agency upon request for information from that agency. And up until this point, that has not happened. I can't attest to whether or not it happened outside of that. What I can say is Greenfield opted to not share. And that's all I can see in our system. And you can feel free to come up. I'll show you what I'm talking about. If we have it so that it's not just automatically sharing with anybody. So
I understand all of this. I understand the public outcry. I understand your position. What I want to know as a public safety commissioner is when these cameras are removed, how is the department and what is it going to take for the department to ensure that they can do some of this good stuff? Is it extra work? What is it going to take to save that person's life if you can't track their license plate and where they're at? Or if someone goes missing and you can't track if they left town? What is it going to take the department to actually do that extra work to ensure these good things are still happening?
nothing more than going back to what traditional police work is. I mean, what we do is you guys have heard the term BOLO, be on the lookout, right? So historically, what we would do before Flock gave us another thing to check. But what we would do is we'd go through and we'd relay out. So we'd utilize county dispatch and say, hey, we have a Mazda pickup with mass tags that are close to this number. Put it out, right? Put it out to the county. We're looking for this black Mazda pickup, right? Right now we do that, but we also go to our computer and we look for a black Mazda pickup and see if it traveled through Greenfield and caught one of our 4 cameras, right? So it's really nothing more. We're going to do the same thing. We just don't have that one tool at our disposal anymore.
Seems like a pretty important tool when it comes to somebody missing.
Well, it can be, yeah. I mean, if it's someone you care about, you'd want to find them, yeah. But again, prior to Flock, we did good police work. And again, that shouldn't be forgotten about. We solved a lot of crimes. We found a lot of people. We initiate a broad network of people when we need it. So the entire county comes alive. We also have systems. Our dispatchers can send out general broadcasts and send them all over the country or just down the eastern seaboard. They can pick locations they want them sent to send this information out up to the minute. So we're good at it. Flock was just another tool to help.
Thank you for answering. Commissioner?
Thank you. Question.
There's no questions from public. The meeting's closed. The commissioners, no problem.
Yeah. So I just like to say, I understand people's outcry about it. I understand the concerns. Me personally, I'm not concerned about federal agents, but the old saying, until you walk the mile in somebody else's shoes. So I can understand people's outcry. I just think that this is an important tool that expedites your job and makes it faster and safer for Amber Alerts, for missing people, and for an Amber Alert, the car left the town, say the camera was in the north end and headed up the Mohawk Trail, you would know that that's where you have to look at it, and their traces are slim about where they're gonna get off the Mohawk Trail. Or French King Highway, or wherever they are. I don't even know where the 4 cameras are. So I think it's a very important tool that was in the toolbox that could expedite your job and make people safer. I understand people's concerns. And as I'm not gonna get political on it. But I'm just gonna say that I think that by removing these, we've taken away a very important tool that expedited police work and made it so there wasn't that mistake being made, that you knew where that vehicle was gone. That's my only concern about it. And that I think that it's an early warning system to where if a bad guy's coming or going into your community. Plain and simple. I understand people's concerns and their outcry about it, and people do have a reason to be concerned. But I really do think that they've taken a very crucial piece of equipment away from public safety. So with that.
My response to that is we did too. We thought it was pretty cool. That's when we sat there and saw what it could do. But we also, I don't want to be so closed-minded as to think there is another opinion. So when we were looking at this, we were looking at this through a very narrow lens as investigators. And as investigators, yeah, wow, this is awesome. This is going to speed things up, because not only does it run plates as it goes, we can actually enter information into it, and it sends us an alert when it does travel by, so we can get there up to the minute. So as just investigators, yes, what an amazing tool this added to us. Okay, but there are the other sides to that. When opening up your lenses a little bit, I get it, and I could sit here and talk all day. I can't say what Flock is doing with the information. I can say what they're telling me they're doing with the information. But I guess there was enough people concerned about what they're doing with the information that the mayor was inclined to make a decision. And like I said, furthermore, I don't have the money anyway. I just don't have the money right now. It's gonna be $12,000. Budget season's coming up. It's not gonna be fun. So we have to make choices. We have to prioritize. So with all the angles that we approach this on, Flock's gotta go. And again, I got information today so the public can be aware. Jay Batinsky's working with our rep. They should be down within 5 to 7 days.
Just inform us when they're down.
The camera, just so you know, not that we're trying to drag feet or anything like that. I'm cheap and I try to get money back. I mean, our contracts aren't up. So I wanted to try to get some prorated funds back. It seems they're saying, no, you're canceling your contract. You're not getting anything back. But the cameras are theirs. We pay for the service. The cameras are theirs. So technically they're theirs to come and get back, right? We weren't going to wait for them if it was going to take a month. We were going to send our central maintenance down and disconnect them, put them in nice, neat boxes for them, and let Flock and come and get them. But they responded today and they said to the lieutenant, 5 to 7 days, they'll be gone. So it'll be behind us.
You have to pay for the rest of the contract?
Well, the art's already pay ahead. Yeah, we're closing down $3,000 a year. 2 of them, we're losing 10 months.
Did you?
Any other comments or questions from commissioners?
I think the only question I have that hasn't been addressed is, when did the contract start in terms of the collecting the data?
So for 2 of the cameras about 3 years ago, it's rough. So yeah, we did 2 and then another 2.
Okay.
When we originally signed up, we did 3-year contracts. They were $2,000 a piece. Now they're $3,000 a piece. So again, they're for us, little city of Greenfield, they're cost prohibitive anyway. It's expensive.
They just went up recently, correct? The cameras.
When we're talking about renewing, yeah, when we're renewing, they went from previously $2,000 a year per camera to now $3,000 a year per camera. So we have 2 that would be due, I think it's May, and then 2 that are due by October and November.
And we've been paying for the service for the last 3 years, or?
When I bought the first 2, we bought it on a grant. They had 3 years. So that was paid for out of a grant. And then the second two are paid for out of the law enforcement trust money, which is not taxpayer stuff. It doesn't affect tax rate stuff. So we paid for that out of a fund. That's the task force. So the DA's task force that I talked about earlier, the anti-crime task force, they acquire proceeds through seizures and they get distributed to the participating agencies. So flock cameras were purchased using that fund. So again, it didn't affect tax.
But the system itself, how long has it been collecting the information? I know it goes.
3 years for the two and 2 years for the other. But again,
So this
it's
is not-
gone in 30 days. Each camera's gone in 30 days.
But comments?
I have one more question. Did they consult the DA's office to ask them whether they wanted to continue their use of these?
So that was suggested. And we did pass it on to say, listen, we got it through you in terms of the idea. They're not interested in doing it.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay, so before we close on this subject, I would like to say that to me and maybe some parent out there, I don't care about $12,000. A life is worth more than $12,000. And if I was a parent or I was a partner with somebody and they have gone missing and you had a tool that could be used to find that person and save their life, to me personally, it's worth it. I understand the public outcry. I even agree with a large portion of it, but I also believe with the chair that I hope that the efficiency, when something comes up, that's an Amber Alert or that's important comes up, you could react just as quick without these cameras. And that's my comment and how I feel as a public safety.
Well, Amber Alert goes over everybody's thing. So Amber Alert's a thing in and of itself. What the disappearance of flock won't affect anything to do with an Amber Alert. They're good to go.
Right, yeah, any other comments from commissioners?
Done beating me up? Good.
No, you'll be back up.
You'll be
now.
back.
All right, we're gonna move on.
Wait till the
folks.
next
I'm
round.
gonna go stretch.
There you
All right, yeah.
go.
So. No, I'm gonna move up to, we're gonna approve meeting minutes. You all have them for December 17th. If I could get a motion in a second.
To approve minutes of December.
Action.
Yes.
Right. It says
But
policies updates by Chief Dodge. Deputy
Hold on a
Green.
second. Can you, Deputy, you're gonna mute everybody? Thank you. All set? Okay, go ahead, Tuition.
It's just by Chief Dodge, Deputy Green, and Sergeant Rowell. I'd like to recognize that at that time, Sergeant Rowell was a lieutenant.
What line are you on? Could you tell me, please?
Where it says
Last
police
police.
updates. That's,
Okay,
Sergeant, is it supposed to be the read lieutenant?
it should say. lieutenant.
she's acting lieutenant,
Acting lieutenant.
acting lieutenant, it should say.
Not a good.
So that should be corrected.
Yes.
We can get that corrected. Let's take note of that, all right?
And motion to adjourn. We're missing. Motion Masqueratello. Second by whom?
All right, so,
Was the motion by Masqueratello? I don't think so.
Okay.
That's all.
all right, we can get those corrected. All right, is there anything else that needed adjourned? We can approve these with making these amendments.
Yes.
I make a motion that we approve ending the amendment.
All right, okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, we'll make sure we get these. All right. Now we're back on track. Put that. There we go.
There we go. Okay, well, now that Dave's got me back on track, we'll call up AMR.
No, we're gonna do this one.
Which one now? Which one did I miss?
We have to. motion to consider.
Oh, I thought that was what that was motion. Yeah, hey, we're gonna tell AMR to sit right there for a second.
This won't take long.
This won't take long. Motion to reconsideration of December 17th vote for capital budgets.
So the reason why I added this on here is when I was the chair is I felt like we should be voting for and prioritizing individual items instead of bulk approving everything all at once. So when the fire department and the police come up, we expect them to talk about the individual capital items, and we will say yes or no with our approval on an individual basis. So I would like to get a motion to reconsider our vote. So we start over.
I'll make that motion, seeing I made the first motion to consider it. How's that?
Is there a second? Okay, and we could all vote on this except for Commissioner Illinois because he wasn't here.
Right.
So I guess I'll do I'll do a individual. Commissioner Bagar,
Yes.
Jarvis.
Yeah.
Moss Caratola, yes. Raff,
Yes.
Berg.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Okay, so we have rescinded our votes on capital budget. Now, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you. So I guess I have to ask the chief or do you want to?
No, we'll do it
We're just
individually.
gonna- We're gonna do it individually at another meeting.
No, we're gonna do it when each of them come up.
Oh, I see you
So
have it
we're
in
on-
there now.
yeah.
Okay. I didn't print this up, so
It's okay, no worries, I'm here to
that's why
assist.
Dave's there to assist.
I'm the vice chair,
You're
so I can
vice-
assist
You
you.
can assist. And I need all the assistance I can get. AMR, please. Now you folks can come up. The first time was just a run to see if you were awake.
Again, please introduce yourself to the Zoom folks that are online.
Oh, hold it. Yours are better. They're in color.
Yeah, well, his is in color.
I made pieces, I got
Make
it.
copies?
You passed them out, it's fine, no worries. I do backup, you know, I do backup. for
Prettier.
people.
What's that?
Paper in the bring Any color, and you'll find out.
Thank you. Introduce yourself to all the folks that are on Zoom.
Hi, I'm Kim D'Angelo, the Operations Manager for AMR.
Hello, Patrick Leonard, Regional Director for AMR.
Thank you for being here.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
All right, I know there's some heckling in the back today, but we are short and sweet. We finished out December, our busiest month. We did have over 600 requests for service, which is pretty crazy up here. First page transports ALS versus BLS, priority 1, priority 2 requests, and then average per day. They stay pretty consistently even. We did a lot of close work with the fire department as usual for the overflow of calls, but we transported just over 300 patients last month. The QRV on the front page is incorrect, so there's a second page that's specific to the fly car. I know we spoke last meeting about we lost a day shift paramedic, so the paramedics that were covering the fly car for the majority of the month got moved to the transporting truck. So volume was pretty consistently low for the vehicle. They did transport with 6 patients, 2 were with our BLS crews and 4 were mutual aid for the fire department or surrounding towns. And we're looking a lot better as far as having that vehicle in service more frequently for January. So I'm kind of excited to see where we fall with transports and utilization. Fun news, shout out to the Moose. They had a wonderful donation of stuffed animals for our trucks last week. Sue Ellen was able to go up and accept the donation, so we really appreciate that. Anytime we put a kid in the back of an ambulance and we can give them a stuffed animal, it makes it a little bit better. It's not a great experience, but it makes it a little better. Yeah, please, there you go. Any questions for us?
So is the fly car position, has somebody been rehired or it's been filled?
So the fly car is a part-time pickup position.
Yeah.
Because of the hours that's scheduled, it doesn't really make sense to put it full-time
Okay.
just yet. It's an appealing pickup shift for our paramedics though, so it's usually pretty quick to fill. However, our commitment is the 2 ALS trucks for 24, so if there's an opening, they do get shifted.
Anybody have any questions for AMR? Comments?
Just that sorry, go ahead. Oh, no, I just want to say that we appreciate you partnering with our police and fire departments and all you do for our community.
Thank you. We're happy to be here.
Thank you for that.
Very good. We'll call the fire department up. Please introduce yourselves to the cameras in case there's somebody out there that doesn't know who you are.
Bob Strand, I'm the Fire Chief and Emergency Management Director.
And my name is Peter McIver. I'm the Deputy Fire Chief.
Before we get into the report, since AMR just did their report, I want to say that we've had a long-standing fix, if you will, for CAD-to-CAD link, and they have developed a solution, and we have been monitoring it, where we can actually see the calls that are coming in, and there's more to come on that, but I can't thank them enough for getting that work done for us. It's been a long time, and we appreciate it. So thank you very much. How do you want to do the order? You want to do capital, or you want to do the report?
Yeah, well, we have capital written down first, so why don't we do capital?
All right, so you voted on capital the last time. We went through them. I'll go through them again, and I've got some suggestion for a couple changes as we go forward. In speaking with the mayor's office and City Hall, capital is going to be very lean this year, if not non-existent. So I think I may give a suggestion to you folks as part of the recommendation moving forward. So we'll get right into it. The first one is the automatic AEDs, requesting 10 per agency. The AEDs are end of life. They're not compatible with our ambulance providers. They're not compatible with the hospital, which means that the pads that we use, we have to take off and put other pads on. This would get us more in line with that. We asked for 20 units. I did talk to Chief Dodge because this is a joint ask. It's not just the fire department. It is our number one priority. For replacement along with the turnout gear. However, I would recommend that we drop the number in half. 5 per each agency, and then we'll go at it again next fiscal year and do 5 per each agency at that.
So the 61,000 would be cut in half is what you're saying?
That is correct.
Okay.
Is there a risk that when it gets to actual budget process, it'll be cut more, or do we want to ask for more?
That's a great question, and I'm glad you asked that, and I'm smiling because everything gets cut the whole step of the way that we go. So whatever we put forward here, it goes to City Hall, that gets cut there, and then has the potential to go to City Council and get even cut. I have always operated to not ask for more than we like, this is the bottom line of what we could scale back to. And I'm comfortable asking for that, so I would not want to ask for more and have it get cut along the process. That's just how I've operated since I've been chief.
How many units do we currently have for each department?
I won't speak for the police department, they'll answer it, but we have them on every piece of equipment, and most of the cars. So we're looking at 4 engines, a ladder, and 4 cars.
So you have close to 10 yourself?
Yeah.
Chief, do you know how many you have?
4.
4, okay.
So we send them out, they sign them out as they go on shift.
I wouldn't, myself, if we were gonna vote, I wouldn't agree to cut the 20. That's my opinion, but we can talk about that.
Not 20, cut it in half to 10.
Yeah, my opinion, I wouldn't want to cut it in half, but that's just.
I have a
Well,
question.
yes.
When we met last month, there was a thought that maybe our AMR friends could help us with pricing and see if that would be.
They absolutely have agreed to, they've talked to me after the meeting last month, and we have talked about that, and we could probably save money on that. I don't want to lessen what the ask is for that, because we're not going to ask for 10 and buy 12 if we have leftover money. If we ask for 10 and it doesn't come to the amount that we asked for, the money goes back to the city. So we will do everything in our power to keep the cost as low as possible. And if that includes working with AMR, we'll do that. So we'll budget the high end And then if we're able to save, which is what we do all the time, I did it with a ladder truck at a tune of $100,000. We don't spend the money, it gets turned back. It doesn't get used. It's very difficult to go back and ask for additional funds if you come up short. So we do the best case scenario for us, and then we scale back once we do the order, which is not uncommon. We often save money off of the original ask.
Anybody else?
I would ask that that be left as a recommendation as a number one, as a top priority.
This is your number one?
So we have to list our priorities by one being the highest, five being the lowest. It won't be the only number one.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Okay. The second one is the tune of $76,000 for personal protective equipment. This is a complete ensemble for a firefighter from head to toe and everything that's required with outfitting a firefighter. The tune of that is $76,000 and includes all the equipment, including a portable radio. We track our turnout gear. Every member of the department gets issued 2 sets of turnout gear. The turnout gear can be no longer than 10 years old before it's retired. So it's very expensive and very hard to keep up on turnout gear, especially when you add people and you have people retire unexpectedly. And so the plan gets out of whack. We have it built into our capital budget, but it has fallen behind. And I've warned this over the last few years that as we do our best to keep up, but every 3 to 5 years, we need a little influx of help from the capital side to keep us on track with that. So this is that year to do that. I do want to tell you that we will be actively pursuing aggressively a state firefighting equipment grant that we plan on using all the money from that grant to buy turnout gear. We're probably going to use it to offset operating costs. So this will still need to go through capital. But our operating budget going forward is challenging. So
How many firefighters is this for?
5 sets. 5
sets.
firefighters. Yep.
You mentioned retirement, and I was gonna ask about that. When someone retires, does their turnout gear just get, like, what happens to their gear?
That's a great question. We reutilize, and I'll let the deputy highlight it, but I just wanted to give an example because it's kind of funny. We had some retirements and we repurpose it, and the deputy can go, he manages it more than I do. But like the last set of retirements, we're all 6'2" giants. And most of the people that retired were not even close to 6 foot. And so the gear just, it didn't fit them. So we didn't have any option but to buy gear up. If we can use it, stuff that we have that's in compliance, we do it. I'll let the deputy.
Yeah, so as the chief sort of spoke about this, their timeline for retirement of gear, in order to sort of get creative with that timeline, we try to keep the first and second sets about 5 years apart. That way we maximize the use of that gear. When someone does retire, we utilize a private company that does alterations. And then if necessary, we will have that garment resized as best we can. There is a cost to that, but it's minimal in comparison to a full replacement set of gear. The gear is not owned by the individual, it's owned by the city. So there might be someone that is similar in size to the member that may have retired, and maybe their second set of gear doesn't fit them as well, or maybe worn beyond. Anytime that there's tears in the material, it gets sent out to be repaired. Sometimes it reaches a state that it can no longer be repaired. So we might take some of that gear and sort of fold it in as somebody else's second set, have it altered so that it fits them properly. So it's not necessarily just shelved and put away and unused. We try to make sure that we're maximizing that investment that the city has made back out to the floor and make sure that it's used as best as we can.
We do such a good job managing the issuing our turnout gear that when I first started, when you started, you go down the basement and there'd be a whole rack of turnout gear that all right, this one fits me a little bit. We do such a good job with our turnout gear that we don't even have a lot of stock with that. And that has taken years to get to that point, because once it's retired, it's retired. The other part of our turnout gear with the new turnout gear is, turnout gear of the past, you got a coat that fits you, you got a pair of pants that fit you, and you're good to go. The new turnout gears are almost like I don't want to call it like an athletic suit, but they're tailored towards the firefighter's specific body. They're custom made for the firefighter. So the flexibility is built in there, which cuts back on wear and tear. And if your pants, the turnout pants aren't a good size, it could cause you to trip. There's safety issues with it. So every set of turnout gear that's issued to the firefighters have to be custom tailored to the body of that firefighter. We do try to get it close, especially for the second set, but their primary set really needs to be tailor-made for that firefighter.
Thank you.
I was looking at, this is about 15K per set. And I was like, it's really hard to find prices of this stuff online, but it seemed like it was averaging around 10K, but it sounds like we're buying the Cadillac of turnout gear for like all of the custom fitting? Or?
No, we're not. So the reason why the cost for capital is, if you look in there, there's 5 radios. The 5 radios are really what the expensive part. The turnout gear, I think, for a pair of a coat and a pair of pants is $5,000. So roughly $5,000. This is, if somebody walks in the door, this is what they need to be able to be outfitted for a firefighter. The radios. Our radios, everybody has a radio. When somebody leaves, we repurpose the radio, but I don't have any backup, and we lose probably a radio or 2 a year, either destroyed at a fire or damaged or has a failure. So it's just building that up as well.
On the cost of the gear itself, just to note for you as a committee, we had an internal committee that looked at all of the last year, the ending of the year before, there was a law passed in Massachusetts that mandates the removal of PFAS from all turnout gear garments. It's actually encompassing all fire equipment. So preemptively, we formed a committee to look at all of the major manufacturers that make turnout gear garments to sort of really take a good deep look at what fabrics. They're shopping for turnout gear is like shopping for a suit. Like, you can pick the outer shell, inner thermal barrier, moisture protection, what type of suspenders. So the chief set a really good guideline as to keeping it within a certain financial parameter. We are sort of in the broad scope of gear costs, we're sort of in the middle, maybe a little bit higher than that. Top end is more around that $7,800 to $9,000 set of turnout gear, which I'll be honest is sort of excessive. So for a total garment package, ours is pretty competitively priced right around that $5,000 mark. Most of the stuff that we order is on state bid or some other competitive government contract.
So, and again, to highlight again what the deputy said on that, to broaden that, like, a coat is not just simple a coat. The cut of the coat of the firefighter is how heat transfer from the fire into the firefighter's body. And so there's different cuts within the coat that, may cost a little bit more, but protects the fire. Overall protection of the firefighter is enhanced because of simple things like the cut in materials. So we're pretty much in the middle of the line, but we provide, state-of-the-art turnout gear that protects our firefighters.
The firefighter can't move because there's no gusset. You have to have something so that they can actually turn or whatever they have to do. And so that it's totally important to have the correct fit.
Next.
Yeah, so the next one is quite as simple as rescue equipment. It's a replacement of a hydraulic set of jaws that I think Deputy Jarvis made a fundraiser for back in like the early or mid-90s. We do have newer jaws, but this would replace an older set. This is a priority too, although it's needed, the equipment is needed within the fire department. Obviously, we have to look very closely at budgeting and, constraints within the budget. So it is a priority too, and it's, I don't believe that this will make it through the capital process.
And so this one set of Jaws of Life, that's what this is?
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
And they're battery powered jaws. They're not the old hydraulic sets. So it's pretty impressive what the equipment has. We do have a primary set on one of the engines. This would be a backup if that set was,
Are the ones we have already electric?
Yes.
There. Okay. And so we have like all of the batteries and the charging capabilities and stuff. Okay.
Yep. What we don't have is a lot of redundancy. So if that set gets broken or whatever at a call, and we're down to a primary, one set. So the last one is the replacement of a UTV vehicle. That is a Kubota. If you look at the last page, it shows you a picture of our current machine on the left versus the other machine that we're asking for. Our machine is a different animal than the police department has. The police department it transports personnel easier than ours. Ours transports a pump, a tank, and a patient on a longboard. It is a high priority for me. However, based off of the financial circumstances of the community, it is listed as, I have it listed as a priority one, but when I speak to capital, it will go down to a priority. It's a pretty vital piece of equipment, and it's very much needed. And again, it's a different animal than the police department one. So the thought is that we could share one between the two agencies. The reality is that this machine is a completely different machine than what we have in the city. This was originally a victim was needed to be rescued on Poitsy Tower back 20 years ago or whenever we got this. And we had to wait 30 minutes to get a piece of equipment there, and then the delay to get them off the mountain. A resident in town was not happy with that. He was actually on public safety at the time, and within a week he paid for a new machine. So that's how we got it. And since then, it's a pretty standard piece of equipment in most every department.
Great. Do you have anything else before we discuss this?
Not for capital.
You said you wanted to make a recommendation on it. You said you wanted to make a recommendation on an order or a priority, or you gave us your priority?
I gave you the two priorities, the number one priorities, and I recommended, reducing the AEDs. Just because I think that's what's going to happen. So. I'm not saying we don't need it. Like, I need to be clear. I'm not saying we don't need it, but I would get us through.
UTV, how often is it used at the fairgrounds versus outside in the community?
That's a wonderful question. So, planned events, it's used all the time, and it rolls all the time. Whether you're at Wormtown, at Green River Fest, the fair, or other events. It's very difficult to get vehicles in between, the crowd. And so every event we have medicals. And it's used, it not only does that, but transports first responders to other calls. We get a lot of lockouts at the fair where we actually have to go and help people get in the car. So it just rolls the whole time. Outside of that, pretty much any significant fire out in the woods, any rescue out in the woods, it responds to neighboring towns. We had a plane crash where it was used on that, and we called an additional 3 or 4 on top of that, just because that's how you got the responders up and down the mountain. So even though there's other ones around us, you need to have your own.
I was looking at the budget for the Franklin County Agricultural Society. They have $1 million in revenue every year. Is this something that maybe, since it's used so much there, we could talk to them about pitching in to reduce the cost of UTV to us?
I would have to look at that. Yep, I'll look into that. For sure.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take them up one by one, and we're gonna vote on them. And we'll just use the list how chief has them listed. On this.
Can I ask one question?
Yep, yep.
My question that I have is, if you would have to choose between the Jaws of Life and the ATV, which one would you pick?
That's a tough one. The UTV is, in my opinion, and although it's not, I think, shared, in my opinion, is probably the biggest need right now for equipment. Now, I say that, Commissioner, knowing full well that the community has supported a new engine, new ambulance, a new ladder. And like, I know that, like, keep going back to the well, I know it's not always favorable. I have to ask for what I feel is appropriate for the town. My gut is that it won't matter with either two, because I don't think they're gonna go past the capital process.
So just one more comment for the chair. We'll be voting for a positive recommendation, so it's majority, it becomes positive, so you can vote no. But if you're the only one, or there's only 2 and the rest vote yes, then it becomes a positive recommendation, which the chair will document.
Yeah, that piece of machinery needs to be replaced, but you know, you're just,
Thank
I've
you.
been asking for it for 4 years.
Yeah. Any other questions before we move forward?
But does it really make sense to go individually?
I think it does, yes. Me personally.
Yeah, I think that's why we did a reconsideration of it, so we could. So we'll start with the purchase of the AEDs.
Did you individual votes on it?
Yeah, with the individual votes, yeah,
Want me to handle that?
sure, that'd be great.
All right, so we're starting with the AEDs. The chief wants to reduce it from 20 to 10. Is there any comments on that first?
It should be reduced.
Any other? You feel the same way? Okay. I feel the same way too.
Okay.
Does anybody? Okay, all right, so we're,
Yeah, doesn't matter, okay.
all right, so we're gonna do a vote on the AEDs.
Yeah.
Commissioner Bargar,
Yes.
you keeping track?
Yeah.
Okay. Jarvis,
Yes.
Moss Caratola, yes. Raff,
Yes.
Burge,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Dan's positive recommendation.
okay, turnout gear, 5 sets. Okay,
Yes.
Commissioner Barger,
Yes.
Jarvis,
Yes.
Moss Caratola, yes. Raff,
Yes.
Burge,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Yeah, it's positive recommendations in there.
okay.
And interrupt, are you saying that it's what priority they are?
Yes, this is the priority.
These are the 2
We're listing them in-
priority
we're
ones.
listing them
Sorry,
in
I missed
priority.
that. Thank you.
Replacement of Jaws of Life,
Which is the priority to choose.
Commissioner Barger,
No.
Jarvis,
Yes.
Moss Caratola, yes. Raff,
Yes.
Burge, Dixon,
No.
42. Right, you were a yes, right? Did I hear you?
okay,
That's positive.
yep, the UTV,
UTV, yep.
Commissioner Barger,
Yes. Those are 1.
Jarvis,
Yes.
Moss Caratola, no. Raff,
Yes.
Burge,
No.
Dixon,
Yes.
42. Positive.
All right,
That's it. This is the last one.
Okay,
we're moving on.
I will say, when I showed up at a fire one time, I had a chief's jacket, captain's helmet, and my captain's pants, and somebody made the comment, "What are you?" And I said, "I don't know." I'm not really sure. I'm just here. So.
yeah, got it.
I'm trying, sir.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the monthly call volume.
Yeah.
Report.
I don't have a monthly call volume. I do have the annual call volume for 2025. Calls were slightly down a little bit at 3,474. I'll remind the public safety commissioners that when I first started, that number was under 1,000. So we're pretty busy. The breakdown is listed as follows over on the left-hand column. One item I want to point out is you'll see that the fire department responded 41 times to mutual aid fires outside the community. That is always a big number when first looked at, but I'll remind everybody that if you look further, we had 14 structure fires. These were multiple alarm fires within our community. A typical first level fire pulls in 4 mutual aid companies, and if we go to a second alarm, it pulls in another 7. So we still consistently receive way more mutual aid than we give out.
You had 13 brush fires, I'm sure you had.
At least 2 of those were second alarm brush fires.
Yeah, so I'm sure you had mutual aid on
Correct.
brush fires too, so.
Correct. We by far receive more mutual aid than we give out, even though that number looks really big.
This total number doesn't include AMR, right? Calls, the calls they're doing.
No, it includes.
It's only calls, sorry. It was only call, any call over here is a call that had a Greenfield Fire Department apparatus assigned to it.
Thanks.
And we only track on this call emergency calls.
Yes.
We don't track all the non-emergency stuff and calls that we receive for that kind of stuff, which would double that number. This is just emergencies.
Okay, one more question here.
What is a drone request?
Great question. So 10 years? No? We received a grant to implement the drone program for public safety. When we introduced that program, there's clear definitions of what it can and can't be used for. So for example, it can be used for a missing person. It can be used for fires. It can be used for X, Y, and Z. What it can't be used for is surveillance and infringement on civil rights and things like that, or tracking people. It is controlled by emergency management and is operated by the Greenfield Fire Department. And the Greenfield Police Department is a participant with operators, and they provide a vehicle so that the commander can watch the screen. And they provide pilots. So it's been a together program, and it works very well. And it has been very, very successful on a multitude of different emergencies.
Used it there to locate the plane, correct?
Yeah, so what we were able to do is we took the flight path. We couldn't find the plane that crashed in the woods. We put the flight path of the plane in the drone coordinates, and within less than 5 minutes, we found the plane. We have found missing people with it. We responded to assist with the mutual aid brush fire. They had about 20 acres going. They felt that they had it contained. We were flying it and found that they had a slop over of 3 acres. If they didn't have that capability, that fire could have grown large. We had another community that had a pretty significant fire, but they couldn't find it. It was in the middle of the woods. We found it within 10 minutes of the drone launch. So it's a very vital piece of equipment, but that's what that's for. It was activated, the team was activated a week ago for a missing 3-year-old. The 3-year-old was found, not by the drone, but that's the type of calls it goes on.
Chief, does it have infrared capability?
It does. It has.
So you can tell hotspots and other things.
Yeah, it has not only that, but it has LiDAR. Is that the right name? LiDAR. I don't know what LiDAR does, but it's pretty fancy. It tells you all the hot spots. It gives you the topography. One of the other successes that we had, we implemented a searchlight on it now. So when we do rescues on side of mountains in the dark, we can light it up like it's daytime, provide safety for our responders, and helps locate the victim.
What's the time in the air capable?
What's the what?
What's the time in the air capable?
Multiple batteries, we can probably continuous fly unimpeded for an hour or two.
So the airframe that we're using right now, on a good day, like not freezing cold out, you can probably get around 50 minutes of airtime on a set of batteries if they're fully charged. Cooler weather does affect them, but they do have, this model drone does have a heating element in the batteries. So they will self-condition. And then we have a bank charger with enough batteries to pretty much have continuous flight.
This drone has the capability of flying in high winds, has the capability of flying in freezing temperatures. It's pretty versatile, and we have countless stories of successes with it. In 2005, you can see our inspections division, which is one firefighter, did 728 inspections, from everything from healthcare to food trucks to new construction and other things that are required by fire code. Some notable calls: Group 3 responded to a CPR in progress call. Our dispatch did a great job getting resources. I believe it was Ian Bede by AMR who gave instructions, and our team was able to respond, perform high quality CPR, get the patient to the hospital, the patient's at home with his family. Pretty remarkable story. So there was the gentlemen on Group 3 were given citations for their efforts in that call. Couldn't be prouder of what they were able to accomplish. So last weekend, Saturday night, Bernardston Road had a 2-car MVC. Again, our dispatch, outstanding, getting the resources, giving the information, coordinating everything that needed to go along with it. The PD, with traffic control, assisting with patient care, did a great job. Our crew found a 2-car accident that was a head-on Bernardston Road. 4 patients, 3 of them significant, injured severely. 1 patient entrapped in the car. Entrapment meaning that the patient was unable to self-extricate. We had to use the jaws of life. If you look in the picture, you can see we actually took the whole side of the car off to remove that party who was critically injured. We had assistance from Northfield Ambulance, Turners Falls Ambulance, South County Ambulance, and our ambulance transported one of the patients. All 3 of them probably would have been, at least 2 of them would have been flown out if the helicopters were flying. That's how severe that they were injured. Good job by everybody to mitigate that incident very quickly. We did initiate a recall on that, but we, like everybody else, has been devastated with the flu, COVID, and the norovirus. So we unfortunately didn't have off-duty help on that, and so the 2 members on the ambulance and the 3 members on the engine worked incredibly hard until the deputy, myself, and the day captain showed up to assist. There was a lot going on, and they had their hands full, and they did a great job. So, okay. Last one is we had the lieutenant promotion. Lieutenant Streeter, who you met at one of your meetings, went through the promotion process and now is a permanent lieutenant, and he's doing great. So, and I've already mentioned the fire equipment safety grant. So that's all I have. I do have, sorry, I have one more document. I just want to share with you the marching orders for budget next year. We've received our instructions for budgets And basically, the initial start to the budget is no new positions, salaries to reflect only the cost of living increases by the contracts that the agencies have. And expense budget is should be level funded. So expenses go up.
If costs for that for all of us on that.
I can give you this one. I only have one.
We can hold it for now and get us all copies. So can't discuss that tonight. It's not on the agenda. But if you want to just supply the chair with copies, he'll distribute it to all.
It was just to give you our instructions.
Yeah, we
That's
just
all.
don't want to have a discussion on it because it's all.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And now we're moving on to dispatch. I didn't do the agenda. I can see the chief back there, grimacing in his chair.
Thank you. Just introduce yourselves for the Zoom folks, please.
I am Cindy Hunter. I'm the dispatch supervisor for Greenfield Police and Fire Dispatch. I'm Alexandra Fletcher. I am the new dispatch trainee starting on Monday. Yes.
Congratulations. Welcome.
I apologize for your notes. She's not at the top. She was number 4, so but we can do that now. So Alexandra is, like she said, is starting on Monday. This was a long process. Again, I would like to thank Commissioner Dixon for being involved in the interview process, and to Alexandra for sticking it out through this process. We are very excited. I would give you a chance to just give them a little background. So you want to say? Yeah, I'm very excited about this opportunity. I think I interviewed around Christmas time. Yes. Yeah. I lived in Greenfield for about 3.5 years. I'm from Southern California originally, came out to Boston to go to school, fell in love with having seasons, and especially in Western Mass, no traffic. So that's nice. I trained as a graphic designer, sort of having a career shift moment, right? I have my last shift on Friday. I've been working at Long River Produce Market. That's kind of helped me feel more connected with the community and realized I wanted to do something that I felt like I was having a positive impact the place that I live. So yeah, very excited about this.
Well, we welcome you and best of luck.
Thank you very much. I would just like to add in regards to Alexandra that she, both candidates that we offered the position to did some observation time in dispatch, and the dispatchers had nothing but good things to say about her. Very inquisitive, asked a lot of questions, and had a great vibe. So we appreciate that. So top of the list. So hours in December covered by per diems. We had 308 hours, which equates to 38.5 shifts. I wanted to follow up on actually Commissioner Braff, you had a question last month regarding why the number for the year total didn't seem like it was that much for the per diems. For last year, it was 1,220.5 hours total. What I had not kept in mind was that, so up until the end of June of last year, we were working under an old dispatch contract. Per the old dispatch contract, I was only allowed to offer per diems 2 shifts a month. That was total for all of our per diems. July 1st, with their new contract, per diems are actually given opportunity for more shifts. They have right of first refusal for any vacation time that's taken, any comp time that's asked for off, and any long-term vacancies. So that is why that number was a little smaller. I suspect that's going to be much larger this year. And also last year, we had 1 per diem that was out on maternity leave as well. So we didn't have as many as we do have now. So overtime hours for the month for the regular or for the full-time dispatchers, 196 hours, which equates to 24.5 shifts. We have Alexandra starting with us on Monday. We're still waiting for the background check to be finished on our second candidate. Hopefully that will be done at the end of the week. I am in contact with the detective who is completing that. Patrick DeCote, who I believe you guys have met before. We actually lost him in September. He was a full-time dispatcher with us. He decided to leave us. And where he went did not work out, unfortunately for him. And so he contacted me in December and asked if he could come back full time. And we did have a third position that we needed to fill. And so we accepted Patrick back. He left us on very good terms and he's a very good dispatcher. So we are happy to say that Patrick is back with us. So he has filled one of our open positions. So that will definitely help with overtime hours and forces and that sort of thing. So we're very happy to have Patrick back. Last meeting, I gave you a printout of some trainings that were coming up for a couple of the dispatchers. Dispatcher Chelsea Reynolds and Yvonne Mumblow both attended the trainings from Progressive Law Enforcement Consultants. The feedback from them was very positive. I also actually received an email from the trainer, Jess is her name with that company, and she expressed that she was extremely happy to have them in class. They were very inquisitive, gave a lot of feedback, asked a lot of questions, so she enjoyed having them. Part of your packet is 2 printouts. There's a couple of trainings that a couple of my dispatchers have asked to attend. One is APCO CTO, which is Communications Training Officer. So essentially it teaches them how to be a trainer of dispatchers. The second is Fire Communications Training. So Dispatcher Mumlo and Foote will be taking an online class or version of both of those classes coming up starting in March. I think it's especially, it's good to note, I think, that a lot of our training sometimes centers around the police department and law enforcement type training. Not very often do fire type trainings become available. So Dispatcher Foote is extremely excited to take the fire communications training and then bring that training back to our new people and our veterans as well. So just as a follow-up, I know that you guys, I think as we all were introduced to the new AMR portal program that the fire chief had facilitated putting in place. I would just like to tell AMR and the fire chief as well. Every dispatcher now has a login for that program, and I've gotten nothing but positive feedback in regards to that program. It gives us a lot of insight into what they're doing on their end, and we can see in real time what's happening. So everybody's very excited about that program. Just a couple of, I just wanted to mention a couple of anniversaries. I thought it would be nice to highlight this monthly. So in December, a dispatcher Ermi Foote completed 4 years on December 27th. So we're proud of her for sticking it out. She comes from mostly a medical background, but she is now also a certified communications training officer. She's participated in a lot of training for us, and we definitely appreciate that. In January this month, Trevor Brunette completed 1 year on January 13th. He continues with us not in a full-time capacity, but as a per diem. He's pursuing a college education, so we support that and we give him all of our support.
Please congratulate them and thank them for.
I absolutely will do that. There's a couple things that a couple of calls I wanted to highlight. One that the fire chief spoke about. One was the first one was the Bernardston Road accident. The dispatchers that were on duty for that call were dispatchers Yvonne Mumblow and Rebecca Jernigan. It again was reported as an motor vehicle crash with injuries. They then became aware that someone was trapped, that there was multiple patients with injuries. As I'm sure you can understand how busy that makes dispatch. They immediately requested AMR. Unfortunately, AMR is not available. They got in contact with Shelburne Control, our mutual aid partner, who also are fantastic. EMS was brought in from several different towns. They had to put out a box alarm, as the chief mentioned, to get recall back for firefighters. Also trying to facilitate life flight. They requested Mass Highway to respond. There were multiple tows requested for the vehicles. And keeping in mind that they were also processing other calls for service at the same time. So I am also like to say that they were assisted by dispatchers Mallory Brunette and Chelsea Reynolds. This happened right around shift change or close to shift change. And so the 2 night shift dispatchers kind of came in about 3/4 of the way through the call. And so they were support on the other end. So
pass along thanks to them because
Yvonne Mumblow is on board. Good work.
Just being doing the police end of the fire end of it when we did the dispatch, and it's monotonous enough. And then you have all the other calls coming in for police and other EMS throughout the whole city, so I can understand that they were probably felt like one-armed paper hangers for a
Yeah,
while.
it's unfortunate
That's
that not
fine,
everything
yes.
stops when that one.
Yeah,
that one
nothing
vehicle
stops,
goes.
everything else keeps moving, so pass along our thanks to them.
I definitely will. Thank you so much. The other call I wanted to highlight was actually something that occurred on January 24th. It was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Dispatcher, again, Yvonne Mumblo and Rebecca Jernigan were both working for this as well. They took a call from a party who was reporting a possible kidnapping. He had some videos and some pictures that he had concerns about. He thought that the person was in Greenfield, but he didn't have an exact location or a specific location. They obtained as much information as they could from the reporting party. A GPD officer was assigned to the call, of course. They certainly were aware of the seriousness of this call. There was some discussion in the beginning on whether or not this was a hoax. It actually turns out it was not a hoax. They gathered as much information from him as they could. They gathered cell phone information. They ended up being in contact with multiple cell phone companies to ping cell phones. The person was actually located in Springfield, Vermont. So it was kind of a collaboration of our department, officers, Springfield, Vermont PD, Vermont State Police. They ended up with the pings. They ended up locating the victim. Actually, there was a subsequent arrest of 6 people involved in this call. And I honestly think from the information that I have that this person is very lucky that our dispatchers were as on the ball as they were. And I'm very proud of both of them for the work that they put into that. It took about 4.5 hours total from the time that started. So it was around 8:30 or 9:30 by the time this all sort of played out. So
Again, we thank them.
I will definitely pass along this thanks for sure. And I realized the one piece of information that I left out was the call volume for December. So I actually did get in contact with one of the dispatchers and had him check for them. So IMC calls for service that were entered for December was 4,391 calls. We were pretty busy.
You have the 911s?
I do not have the
Just
911
send it
in front of me. I can absolutely send those to you.
Well, we thank you for everything you do for this.
Any
Nice
questions
meeting.
or?
Congratulations.
Anybody have any questions, comments? Great job.
Thank you guys so much.
Then just a thank you then. See you. Police Department.
You can change it.
Oh, wait a minute. One of those, do you want to do the TL stuff first and do that?
You can change that.
If you want to, and then we can let them go and.
Yeah, let me down.
Yes.
Might actually be able to read it.
We can do the top.
I don't know. It's like borderline shorthand.
Yeah, but you turn it a certain
You
way.
need your Rosetta
You
Stone to get
want to do the updates and the new assignments now?
Can we introduce first?
Yes,
Yeah.
bring- have everybody come do that first so they can go. We can change things around.
Productions, cool. It's your world.
Are they all coming up?
I've done.
Don't be shy. Come on, everybody, come on.
Welcome, everybody.
Just introduce yourselves for the Zoom folks.
Lieutenant Raul Kanash, Greenfield PD. And this is new hire. I'll let him introduce himself. He is very capable.
My name is Hunter Drost. I'm the new field trainee for the Greenfield Police Department.
Welcome. We've met.
I think I've met almost everyone, Sergeant Lagoy, and these 3 are being presented with some field training certificates tonight, an official patch recognition. So I'll let them introduce themselves.
Officer Taylor Granger.
Officer Nicholas Limoges.
Officer Burn Griffin.
Great to see you all.
So the point of this whole sort of ceremony is with the Greenfield Police Department, we have always progressively tried to grow, reestablish, and improve our field training program. Reserve Officer Drost, our Recruit Officer Drost, is here as one of our current 4 new hires. One is graduating the academy tomorrow. Officer Scoble is graduating the academy tomorrow out of Marlboro, their first academy class there. And then you all met Officer Sewell a month or two ago now, when he came in to introduce himself. And Sewell, along with Officer Dross, are going to be going to the Holyoke Academy starting in March. So that is a 5-month-long academy. And we also have a lateral transfer. Officer Master Totaro is coming from Vermont, and New Hampshire. And he has, I think it is 5.5 years as FTO Sergeant Firearms Instructor up in New Hampshire right now. And before that, he worked 4 years here in Massachusetts at a couple of different universities. So he's returning to Massachusetts, and he'll be starting in a couple of weeks in mid-February for our FTO program. So we will have Scoble just completing that academy, Officer Dross and Sewell going to the academy, and then Master Totaro is a lateral that we don't have to send anywhere. So hopefully these, at least we'll have 2 full-time ready to go. So we'll patrol maybe in a couple months, maybe 3 months or so, once they get their boots on the ground. And then once Dross and Sewell graduate in beginning of August, then they will spend more time with these other 3 gentlemen that we are introducing to you as our newest certified field training officers for the department. We are working on making sure that all of our FTOs are certified. Sergeant Lagoy attended a class so that he is our in-house instructor for that program. So we're able to sort of train our trainers in-house, which is very convenient. And so I will let him kind of discuss that sort of program that we're going through.
Before I talk about the program a little bit, more or less the reason we're here is we've made this field training more of like a formalized program. So you'll see Officer Granger's wearing one now, but these patches are what the field training officers are going to wear. And a little bit of history behind that is essentially, since I came to Greenfield, it's always been my hope that there would be some distinction in this group of future leaders and future supervisors that are going to continue to embellish this group that kind of has come forward to create like a want to be effort, that like the people that are here training that are going to wear this patch, they want to be there. It's not that they're asked to or made to or anything like that. Like, we want these folks, and we supplement them based on the contract to essentially wear this patch, and they're out there proud to do it. The goal for this is, in the past, I've gone to different calls and say we have 4 people on the call, and it seems like there's a lot of people there, right? So, and I've had people that we've talked to say, why is there 4 officers here? We never really get to show that distinction. Everybody, whether they think so or not, recognizes the police patch and, sometimes a supervisor patch. Well, when an officer is wearing this patch and you say, well, we're currently training a new officer, like Officer Drost here. We're currently training a new officer. When you tell them that you're a field training officer and then you have a patch that validates that, it creates at least a level of comfort that's like, okay, that's a good reason. They're training someone new, but they're also there to back them up, just to guide them and be a helping hand as we go forward. So as you see me present it to them, when they're given the certificate and the patch, it's kind of their acceptance into the program, and you will see them wearing the patch, out in public.
These 3 officers are joining 2 that we already have that have attended a field training course, which is 40 hours, I believe it is, for that class. And we have 2 more slated to attend the class taught by Sergeant Lagoy. We're estimating approximately July 1st time. So that'll add our FTO roster to 7 of patrol officers. And that does not include the 6 full-time sergeants that we have, which have all been field training officers. They have additional training with their supervisory status. They're able to kind of help out a little bit more, especially mentor these new employees coming in. Between the 5 certified FTOs that we have now, it adds up to over 70 years of law enforcement experience. And 25 of those years is just through Greenfield Police Department. There's different states, there's different agencies within this state. We have detectives past corporals, past sergeants, field training officers, homeless shelter liaisons, evidence room control officers, a huge wide array of skills that we have FTOs now to help these new officers that are coming in and get them kind of comfortable and trained up before or after academy training.
So there will be a field training officer on every shift.
So currently we have, I want to say these 3 are day shift. We have 2 on eves, and then we have,
In the upcoming class. there'll
and
be
then the
one
upcoming process.
And some more on the other shifts, depending on how the shift bids fall.
So the one uncovered shift for a patrol officer that is an FTO is the mid shift currently. And with post academy trained recruits, for them to see daylight, to them to be able to get out on the street, walk the beat, walk downtown, meet everybody, come to events such as this. We just will keep them in the sunshine, and especially as they enter and exit the academy, they'll be around later on this summer for the fairs, festivals, etc. And again, with the next class of field training in July-ish time, hopefully we're able to get more interest with the new officers that have reached a certain period of time working with our department. They're more proficient with our department's policies and procedures, so then they can reach the point where they can teach the next group after these guys.
About the program a little bit. Just quickly about the program. So the FTO instructor, it's a train the trainer certification. I did that a couple of years ago, just after I came to Greenfield. I've always been involved and passionate about field training, and even more so now as I have transitioned roles. The program that we built is essentially, it's MPTC based. So MPTC provided me with their their certified program that we have to teach to that minimum standard. So that has like 3 different slideshows. We teach it over a few days. And then I also built additional slideshow programs that's custom tailored to Greenfield and how our policies, procedures, accreditation standards, post standards, all of these things that we have to incorporate and the way that we do business to continue to, keep this cohesive relationship. So I've been teaching that. This would have been the first kind of the pilot class that I taught. And then in, late summer, we'll be teaching the second one. A couple of these guys took the class. I think it went pretty well. I don't know, you guys can feel like you got something out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Good answer.
Yeah, I think that's what I got.
Well, to me, it's about consistency. I think that's really important. Everybody has different personalities, but there's some type of procedure that's consistent. And I would hope that these guys that are actually doing the training, there's an openness enough that they can come back to you and say, this isn't working, or this is working great, but this isn't working great. These things change all the time. And new academy folks are different. They have different abilities. So, it's important for you as the trainer, I think, to be open to these guys and what they're recommending. So
we just had an FTO meeting today, actually, before this, and we do it pretty consistently to make sure that we understand everyone's strengths and weaknesses, and that's the trainers and the trainees. So we understand, there's like this vetting process for us that we talk to the trainees, see how they learn, try and develop some rapport with them, and try and use that to our advantage so that they can be successful.
As we've discussed during past meetings, when I've come and talked with you alongside the chief and deputy chief, is we did finally finalize that pre-academy recruit training program, as well as the, in addition to the already trained, academy trained recruit program that was already in existence. And we used Officer Sewell, who is in pre-academy training right now, sort of as a middle ground and sound voice to help me build this new program that Officer Drost is our first one going through, that newly built program, to see what would make sense to somebody with no law enforcement background, what would make sense, what they want to see additionally And during that earlier FTO meeting, I encourage critiques. Everything, as you said, it's fluid, everything is changing. There's always new case law, new practices taught in the academies that we aren't always aware of their curriculum, that recruits that are coming out of the academy can help us, and we can make those tweaks to this ever evolving, hopefully ever improving program. So that is all built, and Officer Drost is currently experiencing that joy and wonder right now. Do you want to talk about yourself, your background, anything like that with them? Sure.
So previously I came from a little over 4.5 years of banking. So the police world and learning and processing all the new information is something just completely new to me and something different. And it's been quite the experience so far, just trying to soak everything up like a sponge, and especially going from a role as a bank teller with using those customer service skills. Some of those skills are being translated over, but also I'm learning new ways and new communication skills and procedures on how to do the role as a police officer as I go on calls, read policies. So it's something I'm very excited about, and just taking some time to make adjustments and utilize my new information that I'm learning. It's been great so far.
Yep.
Right.
Sure.
We'll just call them up one by one. Quick handshake presentation, and that's going to be it. It's going to be official.
So officially being sort of sworn in as the newest trained FTOs for Greenfield, Nick Lamoche. There you go. Absolutely. Officer Brent Griffin. And Officer Granger. I got it. Third time's the charm. I finally got it down.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Any questions or anything for these gentlemen before we can release them for the night?
Well, good luck and
I think we ought to release.
I think we had it, right? Appreciate it.
Thank you for,
I've been hanging around for long enough.
very important. Thank you so much.
Yep. The other two ones can come up.
Okay, yep. Off the hook, yeah.
No, they're not off the hook yet.
No.
So de-escalation.
Yourself to these fine folks.
Chief Todd Dodge, Greenfield PD. The screen deputy chief, Greenfield PD.
I'm still me.
She's still.
So,
So just a little background. I appreciate all them officers for showing up. The lieutenant and the sergeant have put a lot of work into this. There was a method to that madness. We hear every day about the systemic issues in policing. Greenfield is really trying to break that. So again, I start with the word de-escalation. Unlike what you may be seeing here and there, that's not how we live. So we've had a number of special response team deployments this year. At the conclusion of them, and they could have gone really ugly, the vice chair now was at them, and our claim to fame was no injuries, none. And there was firearms present and reported present. So Greenfield is doing it different. And as a result of that, that's what the instructions are to our, she serves as the FTO commander, as in the lieutenant seat. Sergeant Lagoy is the FTO supervisor. And then you have your training officers. So the message is, let's train them correctly. All right, Greenfield is different. They're going to be different. People are safe. And we're going to do good policing here. So we're not just saying it, we're doing it. So with that being said, when I was approached about certain things with a field training program, the only agreement I made was, I'll agree to it as long as we're completely redoing it. I mean, from bottom up, completely redoing this program. And that's going to come with additional things like the insignias. You're going to be recognized. There's going to be a more formal process of making field training officers. They're not getting any more money, so don't worry about that. But they're being acknowledged for what we're asking them to do, and that is make good future police officers, right? And with a different sort of mentality, right? So I think we're modern. I think we're progressive and I think we're doing the right thing. So we do always look to everybody to let us know if we're not. So we're very open-minded to that. If you don't like it, let us know. But de-escalation is the word. Whether we like it or not, it's the word. That's post. We live by post. And we should be living that way. And like I said, I'm proud of the fact that we've had some pretty hairy calls in the recent past, and we've gotten through it with no injuries on either side. So that's important to us. I hope to continue to do that.
I do want to thank you and the deputy because I know in the past there's been some challenges with training, and you've expressed, both of you have expressed that it just isn't working. And I applaud you for wiping the slate clean and starting over. So I want to thank the both of you.
It really has been totally revamped. Actually, the lieutenant, we talked about that at length too. As you know, we have a different process now, slightly different. We could resort back to the traditional field training program, which means they've gone to an academy and then we're getting them acclimated to Greenfield. But with the way things work right now, we have candidates who haven't yet gone to the academy, meaning they can't be post-certified yet, so they can't be police officers. So we have developed sort of on the fly a pre-academy training process, and hopefully what that's going to do is save us time after completion of the academy before we actually has a usable police officer. All right, so we're front loading a whole heck of a lot of training into them in hopes that when they come out of the academy, we got a quick turnaround and we have a productive assist in the field. So, so far so good. We talked about it. We're very open about it. Is this good? Is this bad? So far so good. We got some good reports. We're in all honesty, it looks like the first one we hired, it was way too early. And it's good, just what we need to know. By the time he goes to an academy, he'll have been a full-time police officer about 5 months. Ross, the new one, will only have done it for 2. To me, I think 2 is probably a little too short to really get an idea, and 5 is probably a little too long, but we won't necessarily have control of that. We don't know when we're going to be able to onboard. So
I think
so far so good.
I think it's important for the public to know that this is cutting edge. You're doing stuff that other departments and it's not even on their radar screen. This pre-boarding somebody and getting to know them before you invest the city's money into their future, and then is really cutting edge. And I really applaud this program. This goes to show the commitments that Greenfield wants at different police departments. It really does. And this should be a model for not only Franklin County, but other places. So that needs to be out in the public world so they understand the efforts that are being put into that, because it is cutting edge.
Yeah, I don't know if any others doing it. We've going to the local chiefs meetings. They look at it like they didn't even think of it. So not saying we're geniuses here by any means, but we have to keep trying something, you know? So this was just an idea that popped into our head. We were hoping it was going to work. Like I said, so far so good. But again, it's not free. I mean, it comes at an expense, but what it doesn't come at is if we know, and if the recruit knows, this is just not for them, we cut our losses, right? And they go on their way safely. Nobody gets hurt. Now, again, with each new pre-academy training, the deputy chief and I have set up a system whereas we meet with them personally and ask now, because people only know policing from what they see on TV in most cases, or what they hear from others, right? Until you sit in the seat in a cruiser and actually are in the calls, go to the calls, see what a day in the life of a police officer, you don't really know what it is. Well, now these individuals have gotten an opportunity to get sort of a bird's eye view of what the day in the life of a police officer is. And we give them an opportunity to say, is it for you? Because it's not for everybody. And so far, these two are very adamant, yes. After seeing what I've seen, after speaking with these officers, after being, on calls next to them, this is absolutely what I want to do. That's step one, that's support. If it's not, we're not sending you to an academy because that costs a lot of money. It's 6 months of salary plus training, and we don't have it. So, so far, these two that we have started with, the program has gone really well. The comments I heard today, I mentioned this to the group in the FTO meeting, was to the trainers, I'm proud of them because they all reported very positively about one of our trainees that's been there a while. I said, well, the only reason why that trainee is there is because of you. This person came in with no police experience. Well, now they're raving about his police work. Well, why? Yes, he's receptive. Yes, he's being a sponge. Yes, he's capable, but he had to be provided with that information. And in a way that was productive. And it's working. So we're seeing a lot of good results. We're hoping we can. I applaud the people that were just in front of you. It's been a work in progress.
Thank you.
Gonna do your capital first.
We can do whatever you want us to do.
We got that listed first, so we'll have to.
So
go
one of
back to
them,
that.
one of them I have to be a little cryptic about. I can't get into specifics about it. What I can tell you is it's enhancements to our facility. Security enhancements, sorry. These are not like, by any means like luxuries. We have security related issues in the building. So what that consists of enhancements of video surveillance and also scan our credentialing system to get through doors and things of that nature. The credentialing system that we have right now is so antiquated. Only the deputy chief can access it to do any sort of research on it. It only exists on certain old, outdated servers. That's how old and outdated the software is. It's one step up from MS-DOS. It's not good. I managed it for years. We can keep it going, but again, you can't really get a report populated very easily in this software. And we're being accredited, we need to do that every year, right? So it is really time that this public building, particularly a police department, receives some enhancements to that security, that credentialing system. It's literally, and I will say this openly, it is literally negligent the way the building is currently being set. Okay, like again, I can't get into specifics with that. So the credentialing system and the camera system. The credentialing system would include door monitoring, right? So there's no way of knowing whether or not a door is open, maybe. This particular one, you'd be able to refer to it instantaneously. We got doors open, or it'd send you an alarm, doors open in your building, right? We have civilians sitting in that building 24/7. We do not have police officers in that building 24/7. They're expected to be out on patrol. So any breaches in security in our building leaves the civilians in an unsafe situation. It's just not fair. We need to enhance security there. So all told, we're sort of working with IT, Fernando, the director of IT, to make this as inexpensive as possible, although nothing is inexpensive. We have a quote for both upgrades, the cameras and the credentialing system, that came in at about $140,000. And that he's going to basically tie that into an already existing camera system that the city owns. And that's where the biggest savings are going to come in. So there'll be about another $30,000 to $40,000 worth of stuff Fernando will have to add to what he has in order to accept this new stuff. Probably servers, things of that nature. I don't know. I'm not IT. So all told, we're looking at about $180,000 to upgrade those two systems. So to put that in perspective, probably 5 years ago, as I sat as a lieutenant through applying for various grants, I had gotten a quote about 5 years ago, maybe even longer than that, that it was $125,000 just to upgrade the credentialing system in the building. And another $125,000 to $140,000 to enhance our camera system. So you're up in the $260,000 range 5, 6 years ago. The way Fernando is setting this up, and we're working together on this, is saving the city a ton of money, as you can see, in modern pricing to keep it under 200, about $180,000. So that's capital. That's not priority one. I'd say that's priority 2.
Does this cover the substation as well?
The substation already has, we're all set down there.
Okay.
Yep. So, and again, just to add for the public, people have been concerned whether or not there's facial recognition camera stuff. It's not. So what we have at the substation is that system that I had just explained to you. So the system that we use in Greenfield is called the Ocularis network. And all of the systems in Greenfield, all the cameras in Greenfield belong to that. It's going to be the same. It's not adding anything. It's just adding more cameras. And our cameras will be petitioned off so that not everybody could just view them.
So working in that industry, and working for a company that's a leader in this industry, video and access. This is a must in my eyes. I've been doing security work for 30 or 40 years, and the system is lacking. And circling back to the chief, there's plenty of times when there's no police officer in the police station and it's civilians, and their system is lacking security. And for $180,000, that's not expensive for an upgrade for card access and a camera system that is needed and hasn't been replaced for years and years and years. So me coming from I'm just throwing this out there for the other commissioners. This is my business that I'm in, and I'm up there a lot. We have lots of meetings, and the system is lacking. And the number one protection is the civilians that are sitting in that building working the night shift and working hours when there's nobody else there. So that's just my opinion about this particular item.
Any other questions on that? Like I said, I can't get into specifics, but it definitely is just security enhancements for it.
This is maybe too specific, but is the evidence room and the weapons rooms currently like secure?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. We have to buy it. So we are maintaining at least an accredited level security. There's just other areas that are not. So, and they're concerning. They've been for like you said, it's probably been 30 years. So we moved into the building 98. We're closing in on close to 30 years of no change. So we've changed a lot of other things, but that's why I don't even know. I can't get to the access that credentialing system right now. I don't even know where you would find it. I'm the only one that has it. Yes.
So I work in the banking industry right now. I've worked in a lot of other.
You're a teller too?
No.
Oh.
He doesn't tell anything.
Banks usually update their access and security system every 3 to 5 years to stay up with technology, to make sure the employees are safe, the money is safe, the safe deposit boxes, which are their clients, is safe. We're talking about us as people. Their systems are upgraded every 3 to 5 years, which is a little excessive. But this is a system we're talking about that hasn't been upgraded in 30 years at the police department. And as Commissioner Barger said, there are rooms. There's an evidence room. There's a weapons room. There's people that have been arrested that have to be kept safe in the building. And it's well timed in my eyes that these systems get updated.
There were 2 items on the budget.
Yeah, the next one. So.
Next one is cruisers. As always, I was asked by several, it's a standard question, and I understand the standard question, is when will you get to a point where you don't need to make that request again? And the simple answer is never. So we have 13 marked cars now and a contingency of unmarked cars. Last year we asked for 3, we got 3. One of the contingencies there, as requested by the mayor, was to please make one an EV, at least one an EV, which we did, and we haven't seen it yet, but I have it on good authority. We'll probably see that by like next week. In the meantime, I'm happy to say they actually poured the pad, ran the conduit. The truck's going to get there about the time our charger's installed. This is going to be great. We thought for a minute we were going to have a boat anchor sitting at the police department, but we're actually getting a level 3 high capacity charger, flux capacitor, the whole kit. It's going to charge this truck in 5 minutes, and we're going to be able to roll. So it's coming in about a week. So that'll be our 3rd this year. In order to keep our fleet functional, we need to replace 3 a year in perpetuity. There needs to be 3 cars a year in perpetuity. Replacing 3 cars a year will leave us behind eventually. And that, as I see it, is when every 5 or 6 years is when we should be asking for capital for cruisers to get caught up, because we also have the unmarked that we have to replace. When I took over as chief, I utilized a different plan because the writing was on the wall, not getting any funding from anybody. So we had at that time a significant amount of more money in the law enforcement trust fund. We had unmarked vehicles, our entire unmarked fleet were the little Escapes. If people remember, there's a silver one, a couple little black Escapes. They were over 14 years old. And these are the detectives and court officers. These are the people that have to come out in the middle of the night and respond to a scene to assist on really serious calls. And these were all over 100,000 miles and over 14 years, and there was no replacing them in sight. So I worked with our local Ford dealership, conjured up as much money as I could out of the LET fund. The other push was to reduce our vehicle footprint. So I would trade 2, sometimes 3 towards 1. Used, but somewhat fresh car. Examples are, we'd get like a 2023 Ford Explorer with 42,000 miles on it. So I'd trade a few vehicles towards that to reduce the size of our fleet, which was a request the mayor had made in exchange for that vehicle. So we did that half a dozen times. And after half a dozen times, we effectively replaced our unmarked fleet without asking the town for a penny. And they're decent cars. They're not new cars. They are 21s to 23s with 30 to 60,000 miles on. But they're a heck of a lot more. We don't have a lot of problems with those, right? So far. Sure. It's worked out pretty good. So with that being said, every year we were asking for at least 3 marked cars. So the problem was, for a period of time, that was shut down. I don't care to get into the politics of why, but we were shut down and we didn't get cars for several years. There was a point when our newest car was almost 6 years old. So in the last 2 years, the replacing of them started. The first year we got 2. The second year we got 3. If we keep on that, we keep a really antiquated fleet of cars, but we're going to keep asking. So this year we're asking for another 3. So in 3 years, we'll have 8 replaced. We'll still have 5 that are approaching 7, 8, or 9 years old. So that's fine, as long as we're working our way to where we need to be. My recommendation, because I won't be here forever, but long past me, this agency is going to need 3 cars a year. It really should be in the operating budget. And then every half a dozen years, it should be a capital request to get the residual cars that we need for the unmarked fleet. It's not going to happen right now. It's not going to happen. So the only way right now for us to get cars is by asking for them via capital. And it's, again, just to illustrate where we're at, because of what happened, we have probably now less than 20% of our expense money left for the year. And the overages is entirely because of cruiser maintenance. We are almost $40,000 over in cruiser maintenance. Motors have had to be replaced, transmissions have had to be replaced. Every day there's 2 or 3 cruisers in a shop somewhere trying to get, and we got to keep them running to keep coming to you. So
cost for the 3?
325,000.
Total, that's the total cost.
That's totally outfitted.
Yep.
Totally outfitted.
That's
That's the
everything.
100,000 for the radio and all the other things, computers.
The computers,
Soup to nuts.
Yeah,
I got
you. Yeah.
So the reason why we're doing that, there's a method to that madness as well, is because our cars got so old, you can't take much of what is in them and put them in the new models. Right now, had we rotated a little quicker, we did that for years. Sometimes even the cages could move. The body styles didn't change that often. We're so far out right now. We need everything new in these cars. And we're out of stock on everything else. So the only way to really do it right now is to ask for soup to nuts purchases of cars. We asked for 300 last year and we came in at what? $300,010.
No, I didn't go over.
Chris is pretty good with money.
I didn't go over.
It was almost to
He
the
says it
top.
went over by $10.
We were laughing about how
I didn't
close
go
this
over.
was. It was so close. So I can only assume I upped it $25,000 to give a little wiggle room, only because we're moving into another year. I'm sure something's gonna be more expensive. A radio now is $20,000. It's crazy. One radio.
Preaching to the choir with me, I know.
Unbelievable.
I used to look at our line item and go, for maintenance and go, are you kidding me? This is gonna be spent in 2 months.
I mean, the finance director said it. It's not just us. Fire's over on.
Everybody is, yeah.
Vehicle maintenance is a big deal right now. Everybody is.
Yeah, and I'm with you. Why, you don't wanna buy a new vehicle and put old stuff back on a new vehicle.
We just can't. We can't now. So,
No.
yeah.
It puts everybody in jeopardy, makes an unsafe situation for everybody. And yeah, I remember the years that you used to get 3 cars a year.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden that went by the wayside and yeah.
That hurt.
Yeah, but yeah, it can't continue because you're gonna be using skateboards to go.
We're making up for lost time.
That's why we need.
You're gonna have scooters and skateboards.
We need
so.
9.
Yeah,
But we're
exactly.
gonna trickle in at 3 a year, hopefully to try to catch up. But again, at this rate, those old cars, by the time we're done, are gonna be 15 years old.
The new ones are gonna be 15,
Well,
yeah.
they're gonna be 6.
Yeah.
6, yeah.
6, 9 years old.
Baloney's.
Yep, we'll take a vote on them. Yep. Let's vote on them. The cars are probably priority one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do the car, well, you wanna do the cars
Let's
first?
do the cars first, see if that's the
Okay.
priority one.
We'll do it individual, you ready?
Ready now, yeses and no.
Okay,
Yep.
Commissioner Bargar,
Yes.
Chavez,
Yeah,
Mos Caratolo, yes. Graff,
Yes.
Burge,
Yes.
So mean to me.
Dixon,
Yes.
You surprised?
that's a positive recommendation to the mayor.
all right. No, security
I forgot I was
enhancements,
on camera.
security enhancements, folks. Commissioner Bargar,
No.
Chavez,
Yep,
Mos Caratolo is a yes. Graff,
Yeah.
Burge,
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
The only other thing that I would like to say about cars is I'm not fond of electric vehicles. I'm not gonna go any farther than that.
Have you driven
Let's move on.
We got the
I'll
one.
joke, have you driven one?
I'm not fond of.
I've never
electric
driven
vehicles.
I never even
It takes more destruction of the earth to dig up the metals for the batteries than it is to come up with other fuels. I don't like electric vehicles.
The performance is different.
The rare earth metal.
Sorry. Anyway, let's move on, Chairman.
We digress.
let's move on. To update, let's see, we do officers updates and pro responses.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's all yours, Deputy.
So is it polls, are we doing our thing? You want us to just go through our we have our stat sheet.
Yes, yes.
He forgot his tap shoes.
He made copies, yes.
I did, running low on toner though.
Yeah.
I see that, yeah.
Someone was supposed to bring us some stuff, but he
Let's
didn't.
change this afternoon.
For December, total calls for service, I went down 57 calls to 3,037. Time spent on those calls was 1,409 hours, and that's up 186 hours. Calls handled in the downtown district, well, they were up 26 calls to 286. Incident reports, were down 23 to 89 reports total. Accidents went up. That's 62. Arrest was up 12 to 32, and citations issued was up 96 to 299. Again, I just cut. The lieutenant is in charge of that traffic safety grant again that I had last year. She's in charge of the newest one. So we're out here. Different. Every month is a different flavor for enforcement. So that's probably a good explanation and the proactivity of our guys too.
The citations, are they not necessarily
monetary?
Or some of them?
That's all, that's criminal warnings and civil citations.
Okay, all,
Yeah,
but I'm
that's
saying
it.
not all of them are monetary.
No.
That's right.
No.
Okay, so.
Education.
I hate to say it, but it's a small percent that are monetary, very small percent.
And
I'm
even
saying we're-
smaller that have criminal implications.
Yeah.
Even smaller.
Do a lot of education out there more than.
Yeah, we're just trying to get people to wear their seatbelts and do things.
Yeah, exactly.
Be safe.
Like
Yeah.
one couple of months is like electronic usage,
Right.
you know, so
Oh.
texting and driving, all that kind of stuff, phone usage.
I like the theme of the month.
Yeah.
You pull somebody over, because it is about education.
Later, going through most of
That
it.
you might not be able to read.
I went through that stuff.
Yeah.
One thing, under special reports, Detective LeMay, I don't know if you know him or not, 11-year vet at our place, that, he's a senior detective. He is transferring to Montague PD. He'll be, he's got like a month left and then he'll be over there. Solving crime.
Everybody.
I think he just wanted to stress us out. Yeah, and he did. Yeah, it worked out. Very good. It'll be a big hit. He's a detective. He's been a detective for a long time. Josh is actually one that has seen more things than the average human should be exposed to. He was that guy.
Did he go there because of the new chief?
Probably.
Okay.
We won't get into it. No, he cited reasons that were, you don't need to.
Is he already gone or?
No, he's got about a month left.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
I knew him when he was a
he's
kid.
taking some time and then.
He lives over there.
Yeah.
So
That's good to know.
he's feeling burned out in his current role and he just feels this is not an easy decision.
He's got
I
PTO.
just need to make a change.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
See what else we got. We have, tomorrow's the graduation from Scoble, which the lieutenant told you about. Sewell, who will be in the next academy, passed his pre-academy fitness test. So he's good to go. Drost, only due to the fact that we couldn't get into the medical appointment for him. He'll be taking his one and only, so he's got one bite at the apple coming up in February 11th. So, yeah.
He's got no safety net.
Nope. So it's still, the storm and it's just the way it is. So, yeah, he'll be, hopefully he'll pass that with no problems and they'll be off to learn something new in March. The charger, I don't know if we mentioned it, we probably did. It was delivered today, sitting in our Sally port, waiting for install.
Something about a cement pad.
Yeah, that was poured. They did all this surprisingly through this whole weather thing. And now they just dropped the actual charger into Sally Port this morning. So it's coming together. We're gonna have a charger. It's great.
For the budget report, on the expense side, we have 20% left on the expense side, but the salary side looks pretty good. You already know that the cruiser maintenance budget is well over $30,000 now. They've sold their cars and as they break down, we fix them and put them back in.
Do you know what the average for the city is for maintenance, overage and maintenance? I mean.
No idea, but I know they're all over.
Yeah.
We sat with the owners of the local Ford dealership and the top bosses of the local, and they cut our rates dramatically because they know what our budget sits at.
Yep.
And it's just, I mean, we're a little too late. Cars are in tough shape, but.
Who does most of the maintenance is the Ford dealerships?
It really varies. So it depends on the repair. Our DPW will do the majority if they can. They've had their own challenges. They've had people come and go. One more recent that went was because they never even put the bolts back in the caliper. Kind of a bad thing.
Yeah.
They heard a lot of noise and weirdness going on and he never put the bolts in the caliper on a brake job.
Big clunks.
He didn't work there no more. So, but again, normal routine service, oil changes, even some electrical stuff, little things they'll do it. And they bill us department to department, but the bigger stuff, we'd send down to either Ford or Greenfield, Ford or Northampton. It's a dealer fix.
The problem with a lot of it is the electronics and the computers that you need to diagnose your problem. I mean.
But it's a compounding issue too.
Yeah.
Nothing in these old cars is covered on warranty. That's the problem. It's all out of pocket. We have to pay for it all. That's the benefit of buying the new cars because most of those repairs stay under the warranty terms. And if you rotate them quick enough, you're always covered under warranty. The vast majority of our cars are not covered that way now. It's literally out of our pocket. So.
Antique clicks.
Yeah.
Final page, call response activity, 22 calls, 5 sections, 2 diversions and no injuries or arrests or summonses.
That's low, right?
Yeah, it was low. We still have that one, CSO.
Met the baby today.
Yeah.
All right, pass on our congratulations.
The little baby and little cutie.
Yep, that's great. All right.
I don't know if you wanted any sort of clarification on the motor vehicle stops and enforcement that the chief reviewed. I sent out, I think it's really important, especially to reinforce the good work, the, opportunities that officers have for overtime, or if they really enjoy traffic enforcement, unlike some people, that they see that kind of reflected and appreciated by everybody in the department. So for our December 25, the traffic safety grant, it was a focus on impaired driving, so OUIs, et cetera. So there was a total of 12 shifts dedicated to the winter impaired driving. It resulted in 51 motor vehicle stops, 3 failure to stop written warnings, 1 speeding citation. So that would be that monetary fine citation that you were talking about. 2 speeding written warnings, 3 OUI arrests resulted, and that's not including OUI arrests that occurred outside of just this dedicated safety grant detail times. There were also another criminal summons for unlicensed operation, 32 other written warnings and other verbal warnings. We were able to secure 2 new solar speed alert radar signs, as well as 2 brand new PVTs for the department, which Sergeant Lagoy and Officer Granger are going to be bringing down to OAT to get certified and put in the rotation in cruisers starting next month.
Oh.
So that'll be good to have those sort of on the road and patrol to be able to use those. Ours are, again, antiquated, much like a lot of equipment happens, and especially a lot of technology.
Getting people off the road who are intoxicated is probably important.
Very antiquated, like some of the other stuff we have.
It smell musty.
And then the next dedicated traffic enforcement month will be distracted driving, again, handheld electronic devices. And we will be utilizing handheld radar and LiDAR in April. But before that, we have a detailer to a month that is community outreach, showing community members how a LiDAR unit works, or radar unit works, and always just continuing that enforcement. So those were good numbers for December, which helped out.
Can you continue to give us the breakdown on the?
I can.
Yes.
It was my first month ever,
Yes.
so I'll
Make Chris put them in his fancy little. Oh.
More work.
I'll get the new chair of those items.
Graciously, whatever you need. You want us to bring you a copy when we come? Okay.
Wait till he sees
That's what it
Wait till he
was.
sees my requests every month.
Oh my God. I'm gonna lose that email. It's not gonna work. Security breach.
All right.
Yeah, those speed signs are good. I tell you, it's because sometimes not admitting any guilt, that sometimes it'll flash at me and I'll go, oh, geez. You know, I get the.
This will be adding numbers.
I don't
5
drive
and 6.
anything in Greenfield.
This will be our 3rd set of 2 for the department. Now I just need to learn how to use them.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Different apps
do
for
help,
everything.
because sometimes it's a good reminder to say, oh, geez, I guess I am going a little, you don't really realize how fast you're going, and especially in newer
I
vehicles.
don't know, I never see the alerts.
Yes. She has a question.
Yes.
Question for them. It says expense side is nearly only 20% left for the next 5 months.
Got it.
See? Ooh, what you been spending the money on?
Their maintenance.
Cars.
Literally, so
Putting them
what,
back together.
so you're aware, I requested a transfer, and it's just not how it works, but when we sit and watch the budget, we, like, if it was your own, you're stressed at the numbers, right? So I had put in a request to the finance director and the mayor, can you send us over what we're over in cruiser maintenance now? Because we're halfway through the year, we only have 20% left of our expense side. And if the transfer, which was $5,000 more at the time than what we were over in our cruiser budget went through, we would have been perfect in terms of the percentage going forward. But literally, unbeknownst to me, there was about $12,000 more invoices that weren't yet factored in. So, which again, we're down to 20%. It's scary watching it. The mayor knows, and there certainly is a plan. But money's not great right now. So we are on a spending moratorium. I told the deputy chief, we buy nothing extra. We can't buy anything extra. There's nothing. There's no luxuries. There's nothing. We have to get through the fiscal year, but we're never going to make it through the fiscal year and get back to the black on that. There's no way. We have 20% left in 6 months. So like she said, toner alone will put us here. I don't know. We go through a lot of paper, a lot of toner, a lot of everything, it seems. So it's a scary place right now. In terms of salary, we have the ability to manipulate that a little bit in terms of delaying a hire here and there to kind of save that money. And we may have to utilize that again, because at the end of the year, you put these numbers together. You can't do it throughout the actual fiscal year, but towards the end, you can start combining top to bottom and check your overall percentage. So literally on a daily basis, the deputy chief and I and Judy are watching that spreadsheet and watching it like a hawk. And we do have to concentrate on that lower number, which is already concerning as well. You got 20 on the bottom and we're tracking well on the top. We're behind where we want to be. So we're 50%, 56% through the year, and we had about 48%. So we're not happy. We're not in a good spot.
Yeah, I thought it
oh,
was a
sorry.
mistake, but I guess.
Oh, that's the stuff that stresses me. Yeah.
What are you doing about the one detective down? What's the plan?
We don't have one yet.
I'm sure you'll let us know.
We're down so many right now. We were just advised one of our military persons may be gone for another month, a month plus, maybe two, coming into FIFA. So the World Cup being held in Foxborough they're gonna summon all resources. So, and we got Josh leaving. There's two we haven't even filled yet to replace. So 2 are going to the academy. One's in it right now, and he'll be in field training for at least a few months. So we don't know. We're gonna have to come up with some contingency plans, because our main
One
concern
detective isn't gonna cut it, obviously.
That's all, and that's basically what we're looking. Okay, because Corey Green just came out to take over as the sergeant. Yeah.
So he's in a provisional sergeant position for the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, keep us updated on that one. Thank you.
Good time.
Anything else for questions, concerns? Okay, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And
lady. All right, the last thing is on the agenda is to review what we expect of schedules. I'm gonna leave this one up to Maria.
Maria.
It's his accent, that's all. Don't worry about it. From Attleboro, you know.
So do you wanna have this conversation or?
But you can ask questions and I'll answer the best I can. All right.
So when the chief sent out the emergency plan for this week's snowstorm, there was a whole list of sites that could support folks outside of the warming shelter hours.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
So there's at least 3 or 4 sites like the library, the senior center, and a few others. And those do you know if those are being utilized? by
Yes,
folks?
so what happens is the folks come in from 7 PM to 7 AM. And then they know where they can go between 7 AM and 7 PM.
Okay.
But this weekend, the Salvation Army opened from 2 PM
Okay.
and fed them, because on Saturdays and Sundays, there's no place other than Stone Soup in the morning. There's no place for them to get anything, you know.
So it's really the weekend that's the challenge of the daytime hours, is the
Right.
weekend.
Correct, because everything always happens from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
Right? And the other issue is that, we really could use a lot of coffee, because they go through coffee like crazy. So if anybody out there has any extra coffee, just send it our way. But the numbers are increasing because of the fact that, below 0. But they've been very cooperative, very calm. The folks that have been coming have been great. So, just let's hope. What I understand also is that we're running out of money because of so many. So the grant is running out. So what do we do? Do we have a contingency plan for that?
It's a good question. I don't even know who you would ask, but that's a great question.
Well, we do need to come up with something, because if we don't have any money, then is the town going to step up? Which financially they can't. So what are we gonna do? And I think that this issue is a public safety issue for the reason that people freeze to death. In my career, I found 2. So.
Well, will you keep us posted on new things, challenges, anything that comes up?
Yeah, I will definitely let you all know what it is that I feel the commission should respond to.
Okay.
Yep. Very good. I think if I looked at my calendar right, February 25th
Yes.
at 6 p.m.
Mhm.
at the fire station will be the next meeting.
Mhm.
And hopefully we don't need a special one in between then.
Yep.
So hopefully nothing comes
We got
out.
one in March, or you're gonna go through and
Might be the 25th also. Because, I mean, February and March are usually,
Yeah.
It's February's
All right.
short month.
um,
Yep. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
Yeah.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great, folks. Great job.
Nobody ever says,
commissioners.
never,
I'm gonna
nobody
shut
ever
the,
says.
let me shut the recording off.
Yeah.